Hello everyone, my name is Micah Stone with iArtistone. My video today is to share a little information about myself. I have always fancied myself as an artist with a love for all things art. I run my own photography business called Micah Stone Photography. I've been doing that for about 2 years now. Business is slow in the winter months, and I was looking for something to keep my mind and my body busy. So my sister, Katie Hunsucker, she's with Fairy Tale Crafts, she turned me on to crafting. My talent as a paper crafter has yet to be discovered, but I've always loved to draw, and recently I took up watercoloring. With those being my main mediums, I found the ATCs, the artist trading cards. So I've scoured YouTube looking for beginner tutorials, and I came up with this. This is my first ATC. It's not my favorite, but it was a lot of fun. I laid down my book page background first, and I stole that from my husband's book. And then I proceeded to stamp the edges, and since my stamp collection is like nil, I just used the edge of a Christmas ornament stamp, and then I cut out my own flowers from the remainder of the book pages. I also don't have fibers, so I was shredding a rope, and I noticed it looked a lot like curly doll hair. Let me see if you can see that better. See right here? I think it's cute. I also swirled up some paper right here, and then I drew my own butterfly and painted it up and cut it out, and I gave it some dimension on the card, and then I just started adding some details just to see what I could do, like the ribbon, and then these little, I've already lost a jewel because apparently I'm using the wrong glue. So I used just a pen, like a Sharpie marker, and added some extra details there. It is not one of my favorites. I really don't even like it, but it served as a really good practicing board. And from there I was able to look at some other details that I wanted to add to different ones. So then my next one I started with is this. This is by far my favorite, and there's a background as to why I chose this design, and I think I'm going to go with this style from now on. I'm a huge fan of tattoos. I have several of them, and my husband is a licensed tattoo artist in the state of Arkansas. Let me put that down here. Here we go. And I love the flash style of drawing, but when you mix that with watercolors, you get distorted lines, as where flash style tattoos are very thick, black, heavy lines, the Jerry Sailor. So when you mix that style with watercolors, you get a really cool effect. And I was wanting to go more with the vintage, the antique feel. So I've taken this and I've roughed up the edges. And by doing that, I just took some scissors and kind of scuffed up the sides here. And then I took a lighter and I burned the edges. And then I added a real light coat of Stencil Magic paint cream in gold. I like how it gives it just a little shimmer without being real glittery. And then my sign, I cut out my letters in the magazine and I gave it a little bit of dimension. And then a simple little jewel. I really like to look at the collages, but I don't like to make the collages. It's too time consuming for me, and I like the simplicity of this. So that was my first one. And then my second one is my mermaid. She's not naked, but she's not revealing too much, so it would be appropriate for really anybody to see. It started the same way. I drew out my design, then I laid down my watercolor background. After that, I went through and added, the color inside, and my white pen. I love my white pen. And then a simple jewel here, some jewels here. I just use what I have at the house. So this right here is moss off of my firewood. And these are jewels off of my daughter's face painting set. So it's really simple. And then little extra designs with the white pen. But I've really enjoyed doing these. It's something that I think that I would enjoy doing a lot of more often. They're challenging, and yet they're not very long to finish. And my third one, the one I did today, was a little bit different. What I did is I threw down a bunch of watercolor, just wherever. It's kind of like in art school where you're told to give a design and then make something out of that random drawing. Well, that's kind of what I did with my watercolors. I knew that I wanted to go floral, so I concentrated the red in one area and threw down some green where I figured my leaves would be. And then from there, it just was really where the light and the dark is where I formed my petals. And these are just clippings out of a magazine. Just kind of threw some, it's actually puffy paint that I put over there, gold glitter, because I don't have any kind of glimmer mist or anything like that. I did the same thing to these edges. I tattered them, and then I stained them and golded them up. Now, when I say I stained them, I'll show you what I used. Old English. Scratch cover for dark woods. It's very simple. It works really good. It actually makes them smell kind of good. But because it's not, you know, it's not that distressing ink, you have to be careful. Otherwise, you'll end up getting it in spots. Here, I'll show you. I didn't necessarily want a bunch right here in this side, but once the Old English touches your paper, you cannot spread it. It just soaks in and stays. So you have to be very careful with that. But it definitely does a good job with adding to the burned look that I've already done on the edges. So this is what I've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely something that I can continue to do. And then I have 2 more drawings here that I drew the other night, just kind of laying in bed. I think I'm going to turn those into cards too, but I'm going to keep with the watercolor antique effect. That seems to be what I like the most. And I've really just enjoyed watching other people on YouTube and what they do. So I appreciate everybody else putting out tutorials and inspiring me. And I hope that one day that I can also inspire others. And thank you for watching, and more videos later.